Hello everybody. It's early morning. It's not going to be above freezing outside today, so I'm going to fix another dish inside. We'll do another cooking video because like I said, I'm trying to get a lot of stuff out of the freezer, and I've got this last package here of turkey bones or turkey carcass that I'm going to put in the pot. I know a lot of people said, oh, do a turkey casserole or turkey pot pie. Well, I don't think there's going to be enough meat on this carcass to make pot pie. I'll have to see when I get it cooked. So I don't know, I'm not sure what I'm going to make with it as of yet. But we're going to get it on here cooking because it's got to boil for several hours. And then we'll see how much meat we can get off the bone. And then we'll decide what we're going to make with it. I kind of thought of making turkey and dumplings. You know, like you do chicken and dumplings. But then somebody mentioned, oh, do a turkey pot pie. But like I said, I don't know if there's going to be enough meat actually on the bone to do that. I'm going to have to cook it and get all the meat off the bone, see what I've got to work with, and then we'll decide what we're going to do with it. But I'm going to put it in the pot. I'm going to bring it to a boil and just let it low simmer for probably an hour or two. Well, I've been boiling my turkey bones. I've got a bunch of broth right there from it that I can use. But right now, I've let my bones cool off a little bit, because for a turkey pot pie, you need at least 1 cup of turkey meat. And I'm going to see if I end up with a cup of turkey meat. I think I will. I'll probably have more than a cup, because there's quite a bit left on a turkey carcass. More than what people think. I mean, usually if you have enough to make soup, you'll have enough to make a pot pie. So we're going to see how much we come up with. Probably way more than a cup full. Because I got the wings. I've got quite a bit of meat here. In fact, I'm going to get a bigger measuring cup. Maybe a 2 cup. Because it doesn't hurt to have more than a cup. But, you know, this is just some of the things you can do with a leftover turkey carcass from Thanksgiving. Just throw it in your freezer and pull it out when you want to make a soup. You know, cold weather is a good time for soup. Pot pies is a comfort food. And you get tons of broth from just the bones. And most people throw this away. They don't think that they can do anything with it. They just think it's leftover bones, but there's a lot of meat on these bones. Just on this piece of turkey neck. There's quite a bit of meat on here. Some people don't want to take the time to do this. Well, you know, if you got the money to throw away, go ahead and throw it away. I don't have money to throw away, so I'm frugal with everything that I buy, everything I use, everything I do. is geared towards saving money and keeping bills paid off. I mean, I had the whole chicken wing. And you know, there's a little bit of meat on that chicken wing. Being frugal is the key nowadays. Don't throw your money away unnecessarily. This would have made a good soup, a good pot pie. It would have made a fantastic turkey and dumplings. I know a lot of people would just not consider making a pot pie with anything but a chicken breast or a turkey breast. But hey, you can make it with any part of the meat. Just be careful not to put bones back in there. Don't want bones in your chicken pot pie or your turkey pot pie. When the bones are cooked real done like this, the meat comes off really easy. You'd be surprised how much meat is left on here. I'm not putting the bad stuff in there. But I think I got a good cupful there. And I'm going to use just regular pastry dough, or not pastry dough, a regular already made pastry, because I don't want to make one. Let's see how much we got here. And we got a good cup of turkey there. That's enough to go in our pie. I've got my dish here. Ooh, it's hot. I don't know if I've left my dough. I just bought a package of pie crust. I had one in the refrigerator, and I decided to go ahead and use it for this since I already had it. Because you get 2 crusts in there. And that's probably going to be way more than enough for what I need it for. And you just take a 9-inch pie crust or pie pan. That's what I've got here. And you have to just very carefully unroll it so you don't tear it. And it's not quite warm enough, so I'm trying to be really careful with it. It may have even frozen in my refrigerator, because everything freezes in my refrigerator. But you know, pie crust dough is forgiving. If it does split, you can push it back together. It's not like you've lost your crust if it splits or cracks. You just simply push it back together. It just wasn't warm enough. It wasn't quite at room temperature yet. Well, yeah, it probably was at room temperature, but it's kind of cool this morning. I mean, it's not going to be above freezing all day. So, but it'll work, even though the very inside of it where I unrolled it is cracked a little bit. It's going to be okay. I'm just going to push it back together. And you put this in an ungreased pie dish. Take this one out and lay it out. in the open and not in the package, and maybe it will get it room temperature quicker. But there's my pie crust. And I always forget to get something. I forgot to get my flour over here. We need just a spoonful or two of flour to go in our filling. Now, let's see. We're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. I don't mind my oven being on today, y'all. I don't mind it being on at all. Now, you can see over here. Oh, I forgot my milk. 1/2 cup of milk. And I've got evaporated milk, so I'm just going to use that because it's calling for whole milk. And you know me and milk. Got bits and pieces of turkey. Oh, we've got to brown our onions. I forgot about that. And like I said, I am limited with space. So y'all have to bear with me. Maybe I can unroll this a little bit more and work with it to get it down. Yeah, my pie crust was not quite warm enough on the very inside of it to unroll it, and it caused it to crack. So I'm just putting those cracks back together. Not a big deal. It's like Play-Doh. You can work with it. Now, let me get a little frying pan for my onions. And let me come over here and get some butter and my onion. See what I did with my onion. No, I forgot that was a red onion and I've got in the refrigerator. I'll just go ahead and get another white onion. Got my butter. I try to pick out small onions at the store, and I always end up with these great big onions. And then I don't usually use all of them. I only use about half of it. But I'm just here getting my onion ready to put in the pan. Ooh, I hate to cut up onions. I cry all the time. It said 1 yellow onion. Woo. This is some of the not so fun part of cooking, is cutting your onions up. Oh my goodness. Now we're going to saute our onions in our butter. I'm going to get my butter open over here. I'm going to put about 4 tablespoons of butter. In my pan and get that hot. Now if you had to cook your chicken, like if you're going to do a chicken breast, you would use 1 boneless chicken breast, about 2/3 of a pound, so that would be a big one, and about a tablespoon of cooking oil in your pan, and go ahead and cook your chicken breast, and then take your chicken breast out to cool, and then you put your onions and your butter in your pan to saute those to get ready to go in your filling for your pie. I don't think I want to use this whole onion. It says 1 yellow onion, but I've got a pretty good size onion here. So I may not just use all of it. I may use I'm only using about half, 3/4 of it. I'm going to need a bigger pot or pan than that. I'm going to need one big enough for my other stuff to be put in it. Oh me, my eyes are burning, y'all. I hope I got enough room in this to hold all this. Now we're going to go ahead and let those saute, and I'll be right back. While they're cooking, I'm looking for some vegetables. I thought I had bought some. I got plenty of corn, but I didn't really want corn in there. There's my peas and carrots. I knew I had some. I wasn't about to cook this dish without them. Oh goodness. Now you can use one small 12-ounce frozen package of frozen mixed vegetables. I'm just going to use peas and carrots. And maybe one potato. I can get hold of a small potato. All of my potatoes are gigantic. I buy the big ones because I never know what I'm going to do with them. But I'm just going to dice up a potato, and I'm going to throw it right in my my pan with my onions and get them started to cook. Now you don't have to do this, it's up to you. I mean, it's your pot pie, so. I'm just going to put that one potato diced up. And I dice it pretty small. Because my peas and carrots don't have potatoes. And like I said, you don't have to put them in there. That's up to you. And I don't even think I'm going to put the whole one in there. Because I don't want it to be a potato pie. I want it to be a turkey pie. I think I may end up using my pot to mix this because I'm afraid my pan's going to run over here. So don't be afraid to do this. If you end up looking like you've got too small a container that you're cooking in, just transfer it to another one. But I got a whole bowl of turkey broth there. And I may not use all of this filling because my pie pan is not that deep. But we'll finish cooking it in this because my little frying pan or skillet, it's supposed to be in a skillet. This is more of a skillet than that other. I mean, it's deeper. So we're going to go ahead and finish cooking it in that. Add just a little bit more butter. Because it said 4 tablespoons. I think I only put 3 in there. So I just added another one. And you might say, well, oh, you don't put potatoes in there. Well, some of the mixed vegetables frozen packets have diced up potatoes in it already. Some don't. It just depends on which one you buy. But I just want to cook these onions a little bit. I don't want to burn them. I'm not browning them. I'm not frying the potatoes. I just want to cook them a little bit so they'll finish cooking in the pie when we put it in the oven. Now while that's doing that, I'm going to open my can. I've just got peas and carrots. Now like I said, you can get a 12-ounce bag of frozen mixed vegetables and use that. I don't have the peas and carrots frozen, so and that's what I want in there, so I'm just going to open a can of them. Like I said, no recipe is written in stone. You can improvise. You can substitute. I'm just going to drain the liquid out of the can of peas and carrots. I'm not ready to put them in there yet. Not quite yet. But I'll have them ready to go. When I need them in a minute. I've got 1 can of cream of chicken soup that we're going to put in there. And my can looks a little raggedy because it got a little bit wet. But there's nothing wrong with the soup. Now we're going to add a little more dab of butter in there because we're fixing to add some flour to our onions, our sauteed onions in this pan. And that's wet, so I'll get something else. We're using 4 tablespoons of flour. I'm just sprinkling it over the top. I think I didn't quite get 4. There you go. Okay, now we're going to add 1 cup of turkey broth, and I've got that right back there. And we're going to add our milk, a 1/2 cup of milk. We're just going to stir it a little bit with the spatula. And at this point, it'll come to a simmer, and it'll come to kind of like the consistency of gravy. We're going to add our turkey, our cup of turkey. We're going to add some thyme. And we're going to add, let's see, about 1/4 teaspoon of thyme. You put 1/4 teaspoon of sage. I don't have sage, so I'm not going to worry about it. I added a little bit of chicken bouillon, probably about 1/2 teaspoon. And now we're going to add our vegetables. Get them all out of there. Mix it all up good. And I'm going to put just a little bit of my cream of chicken soup. Now, you don't have to add this if you don't have it. Don't worry about it. I'm adding it because I have it, and I'm not even going to put the whole thing in there. About half of it. It's already thickening, so I'm turning the heat off. I'm stirring it up real good. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Now, you salt and pepper yours to your taste. It's totally up to you. Now, at this point, you can put an egg in there. It's optional. We'll try one. I've never put an egg in it before, but I'm going to see what happens with the egg versus not putting an egg in one. But like I said, putting the egg in there is optional. Totally optional. Up to you. You definitely want the heat turned off if you put it in there. It's looking good. I have to read my instructions, y'all, because see how hot this is. Now we're just going to transfer it over to our pie crust. Doesn't that look good? Oh my goodness. I was afraid that was going to be too much for this pie crust, but it's just right, y'all. I'm sorry about that, y'all, but that pepper, that pepper got to me. Now I'm going to add my other pie crust on top. If I can get it unrolled without it breaking all apart. Just have to be real careful. That very inside of the pie crust is what gives me the most problems. And then we're just going to lay it over the top. Crank it down. Try to make it some kind of a decent looking pie crust here. I'm just crinking it together and going around the edges. It's not the best looking in the world, but I'm not known for pie crust. Fancy looking pie crust, so. Now you can make your own pie crust. I just had some already in the refrigerator that I had bought the other day to make a pie. So I'll just get more pie crust for the pie that I was going to make. And we'll use this. And now I am, like always, I'm going to get a pan to put under this because I don't want it to spill out when it cooks and go all over my oven. And you know what? I think a pizza pan would be better. Let's see if I can find a pizza pan. Yeah, pizza pan is going to work better because I'm afraid it's going to drip over the edges on each side of that. So yeah, the pizza pan will work a lot better. That way you got a couple of inches of room all the way around. Let's see. Now you also want to cut a couple of vents in your pie. All the way around. It helps the steam escape as it's cooking. There we go. Now you can whisk egg over that if you want. It's totally up to you. I'm kind of undecided if I want to do that or not. Well, we might do that. I've already got the... I've already got the egg bowl dirty. So... I mean, like I said, this is optional here. Totally optional. You don't have to do this. If I can find my little whisker thing. Here it is. Little buddy scratching at the door. And you might find a use for the rest of your eggs somewhere else. I should have put the egg on first and then cut my slits, because my slits are kind of closing up with egg. There. Now we are simply going to put this pot pie in the oven for about 45 to 50 minutes, or until our crust is golden brown. And in the meantime, I'm going to clean up my mess. Let little buddy in before he freezes outside. And I'm going to set my timer. See, it was 45 to 50 minutes. So I'm setting the timer at 45 minutes. I'm going to set my egg over there because I may make me an omelet with that. And look at this, I've got turkey broth. I don't know if I can get it over here in this jar or not. Oh, let's see. Without getting it all over the kitchen. Yep, I got me a whole jar of turkey broth. Well, buddy, I'm going to step on you. It's kind of cloudy right now because I just cooked with it, so. Get this stuff out of here. Put it on this plate with the turkey bones so I can get rid of it. And I'll bring you back in about 45 to 50 minutes. I want to show you what I'm going to do with the rest of that little bit of egg I had, where I wash the top of the pot pie with the egg. I put a little bit of oil in my skillet. I'm going to put a little bit of onion in there. Not much because we don't have much egg, so. I've got a little bit of kielbasa sausage that was left in the refrigerator. And this is the deer venison, or the venison type sausage that I have, that I always buy when they have it available. And I don't have my cutting board over here. And I just cut this up in little pieces, in quarters. And that's enough. Just a couple of little slices. See what else I can find. I've got a little bit of pepper here, bell pepper. I'm just going to cut a little section of it off. And I'm not even going to use that whole piece. About 1/8 of that pepper. Put that piece right back there and use that later for something else. I got to have a little bit of garlic. I'll find my garlic. Here it is. I'm going to use crushed garlic. I know it looks like I'm putting a lot in there, but I wasn't. But my motto is waste not, want not. There's always something you can do with a little bit of stuff. Always something. I'm going to season that a little bit. Salt and pepper. Can you guess what I'm making yet? And what about that potato that I said I wasn't going to use? What did I do with all my knives? Oh, goodness. I'm just going to shave some potato in there. almost like grating potatoes. I want it thin so it'll cook by the time everything else cooks. Almost like you're grating your potato. Because potatoes cook pretty quick. And I'm not even going to use all of that. My heat's getting a little hot. But that's okay. It brings out the flavor and everything. Just shave it down a little. And I think that's going to do it. I'm going to spread this out in my pan. Turn my heat down. Come over here and get my egg. I'm going to put a tiny bit of milk in there, about a tablespoonful. Mix it up. And look at that, y'all. I've got some cheese. This is just some grated cheddar cheese. You can put spinach, anything else you want on there. Anything you got in the house. And see there, I turned that little bit of egg. You know what, I don't have enough of this cheese left in here to mess with. I'm just going to put it all on there. Need to get the lid. And how's that, y'all? For that little bit of leftover egg that I was probably just going to throw away, and what most of you would end up throwing away, I've just made breakfast. And if I'd have made it soon enough, I'd have had plenty of time to eat breakfast. And then, and then come over here and make my pot pie. I mean, you know, cook my pot pie, not make it. I've already made my pot pie. But I don't need this. That's going to go in the compost. The bones are going to go outside. And my heat is down really low. I thought I had a bag over here that onion was in, but maybe I didn't. I probably threw it away because I didn't think I was going to need it. I'll just get another one. But that's just going to cook, and I'm going to clean up my mess, and we'll come back when the pot pie's done and when my little omelet is done. Well, y'all, our egg mixture's done right here. Slide it right out on the plate. And I like to fold it over like that. And there's breakfast for that leftover egg from where you made the wash on the top of the pie. Now I can eat this now, or I can just put it in the refrigerator, take it out in the morning, and there's breakfast for me. Waste not, want not. Clean up this pan. And I'm not hungry right now because I did eat breakfast, so I'm going to let this cool off, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, and that'll be breakfast for in the morning. All I have to do is heat it up. And I'm busy over here washing up my dirty dishes from where I made my pot pie. You know, anytime you cook, you got a mess to clean up. There's no way around it. You always have a mess to clean up. And I'm showing this just to show you, you know, I clean up all my mess. I do all my cooking. I do all my gardening all myself. I don't have other people that do it for me. It's just all part of it. It's just all part of it. And I didn't mean to put this one in here. This is my soapy cloth for my hands to be washed in, not my dishes. Now I got the old pot to wash. Get some water down in the bottom of it. You know, people survive before dishwashers. I've survived my whole life without a dishwasher. The plants are going to love that dishwater. We still got some time on our pot pie, so we'll bring you back. Well, my timer just went off, y'all. So it's time to check on our pot pie. It's been in there for 55 minutes. Now we can take it out now, or we can leave it in there for another 5 minutes to let it get a little bit more brown. What do y'all think? It's a pretty golden brown right now. I think I'll leave it in there another 5 minutes, or not quite 5 minutes. Switch it around. Just a couple more minutes. Whew. I cleaned up everything. I got all my dirty dishes washed. I got all my scraps taken out to the compost pile. I think I've done good, y'all. I think I've done good. About ready for my cup of coffee. And yeah, I use sweet and low. And I've got a little bit of caramel macchiato creamer that I'm going to put in my coffee. I like to put my creamer and my sweetener in there first, because I like my creamer. And then I pour my coffee in. I like to rinse out my coffee pot. That looks pretty strong. I think maybe I'll need another spoonful of my creamer. I got overboard with this creamer, y'all. If it probably wasn't for the creamer, I wouldn't drink coffee. I'll take the grounds out of that in a little bit. I have to take them outside and put them in the compost. But yeah, it looks like I'm going to have turkey pot pie for my lunch today. And it's 12:30, so it's just in time for lunch. That's why I didn't want to eat that omelet, because it's lunchtime. And I had already eaten a little bit earlier, not much, but I didn't want to eat it now. So I'll eat that for breakfast in the morning. Couple more minutes and it's going to be done. And it's going to be too hot to eat right now, so I won't be able to cut it yet. Or I don't think I will. Yeah, I think that's nice and brown. Let me turn our burner off. Looks good to me. I was looking for my plate and I put it in here. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this because it's scalding hot. It is hot, hot, hot. I always like the little individual pot pies. Oh man, don't that look good? Oh, it's coming apart though. That smells real good. Let's go in for the taste test, y'all. Look at that. Don't that look good? Y'all take the first bite if you dare put it in your mouth. That's hot. That is hot. Mmm. It's a little hot, but that is really good. Next time I make it, I'm going to leave the egg out. I don't think it needs the egg. It keeps it from being real watery, but I kind of like mine a little soupy. And when you put the egg in it, it makes it a little bit not soupy. Y'all take another bite. Mmm. It's hot, y'all. That is good right there. Get a couple of those taters out of there. See, even the potatoes are optional. You don't have to put the potatoes in there. That's something I put in there. But it's another option for you. Look at that. Look at that. Turkey pot pie. Don't that look good? Y'all bake you a turkey pot pie. I'm going to sit down here and eat mine, and I'll see y'all later. Love y'all. Bye now.